Hey, it's the very good Dr. Glenn Livingston. And I'm here again with Kimberly, who's agreed to this interview for a very specific purpose. We realized that we didn't talk last time about the tremendous financial cost of binge eating. And she had all kinds of details and all kinds of thoughts about it. And I just wanted to have her back on for 10 or 15 minutes to talk about that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. It's a big deal because my husband and I just retired this past year. And so our income is different than it was before, and we want it to last as long as we last. We're more careful with our budget than we used to be. Basically, I was looking at credit card statements about 3 years ago. I was starting to think about this, and we realized that we spend $800 to $1,000 a month just on restaurants.
Wow.
Um, yeah, just on going out places, pubs, tap rooms. We live in an awesome little beach town. We know a lot of the restaurateurs. We know the employees of restaurants. I grew up in the restaurant business on Long Island.
You
Yeah.
were spending $800 to $1,000 a month at restaurants.
Oh, yeah, 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 yeah. And some of that would be like when our daughter was a kid and still living at home. She's an adult now. We did a lot of Chinese food and carry out pizza. And you hear people in England talk about their takeaways, and it was basically the takeaways, the carry out food. But mostly as we got older and our daughter was not living with us when we got into our 50s and we were doing pretty well financially, it was just restaurants, constantly out to restaurants 4 or 5 times a week, whether it was a lunch or dinner or brunch on the weekend or whatever. And it is staggering how it adds up.
So that's about 10 grand a year.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, easily. And, I just want to insert in here because it's appropriate at that point. We're not wealthy. We're middle class. We're average consumers with a moderate income. We've worked hard our entire adult lives to have what we have. I really have to say, it's kind of the point of all this. Why should the pig get so much of our money?
It's a really good way to look at it. Right.
Yeah, and it's become one of my mantras. Why does the pig get my money? No, it doesn't get anything. I don't want it to have our money. We've worked too hard. And there's so many experiences we want to have. I mean, once this pandemic is finally over, we very much want to take a trip to Europe or get back on the East Coast more frequently to visit family and friends. And almost $1,000 a month, every month. I mean, that's big travel money. That's money that we could be helping our daughter with. She's a young adult who's married and has a home, and maybe she wants some of that. Why does the pig get it?
You didn't work hard your whole life for the pig to retire.
Exactly, exactly. We make the joke, retire fat and happy. We'd like to retire happy. The pig can be as fat as it wants to be, but it doesn't get to make me fat.
It doesn't get access to your bank account. So were you able to trim that down?
We were. Years ago, my husband would occasionally suggest, because he has a much more modest, quiet pig inside of him. It's barely existent. He's never really had a weight problem. He's definitely not had a binging problem. But he would occasionally suggest, hey, let's split an entree. I'm not that hungry tonight if we were in a restaurant. And my pig hated that idea. It would just immediately be really vocal. No way. I don't want to share. Whatever comes on that plate, it's all for me. And now we do a lot more sharing. We actually split an entree frequently. We only go out now about once a week. It's not even cut in half. It's cut by about a 16th what we would spend in restaurants.
I remember my ex-wife had a conversation with Jack Trimpey from Rational Recovery. For those of you that don't know, he works with alcoholics and he calls a lizard brain something different.
Mhm.
But she was asking him all about emotional eating, and he has a similar opinion to me about emotional eating. He's not really thinks it's just a distraction. But he said, when you go to a restaurant, half is for you, half is for ostensibly the pig, right?
Right.
And a lot of people have found a lot of benefit from half is for me, half is for the pig. They leave half on their plate. Sometimes you split an entree. Do you go out less frequently? How do you do it?
We go out a lot less frequently. And when we do go out, at least 90% of the time, we split an entree. Sometimes we'll both get a little side salad as an appetizer and then split an entree. But yeah, we only go out about for dinner like once a week now, and rarely for lunch or anything like that. I mean, we're just busy. that has just really been trimmed down. But the other thing is all the factory made convenience foods in the grocery store, we just don't buy them anymore. One of my rules is that I don't snack. And it's amazing how, if you think about snack foods or traditional snack foods, if you're not snacking, you don't buy them. There's just no reason to have.
How much were you spending on that?
I never really sat that down and calculated it, because at the grocery store, the little trips, whatever, I would have to really go over old credit card records and then think about how much I would spend in cash.
Well,
So
just back in the napkin. How often were you shopping, and how much did you buy per trip?
I would say, if I broke it down to that once a week budget, since it's just my husband and I, maybe $200 a week and maybe more. But it used to be that over half of that would definitely be convenience foods. Boxes of crackers, sweetened cereals, just what you really deem as like poor quality carbohydrates and factory food. And we just don't buy it anymore.
Like another 3 or 4 grand a year, it sounds like.
Oh, yeah, absolutely, easily. The main point I wanted to make too, it's an important point to me, is all of this weekly expenditure on food pales in comparison to the thousands of dollars I've spent on trying to cure this problem. All the other programs, books, supplements, special diet foods, keto bars that cost a fortune, and actually big money on hypnosis and therapy that was not covered by our insurance, our medical insurance. All kinds of just diet foods, special programs, products. I mean, I can't even begin to estimate. Books. Oh my gosh, I have every diet book, every cookbook that was focused on like eating lighter and learning how to cook healthier. Seriously, I could fill up a library.
The other place that people don't think about, not all medical bills are covered by insurance. Not all prescriptions are covered by insurance. And if you're at a reasonable weight and you're not passing a bunch of slop through your body, often you can either come down from them or eliminate them entirely. And how many thousands of dollars is that?
We're self-insured, so we have a mid-range kind of medical insurance. And last year, I had to have an eye surgery that was directly related to my very long-standing case of type 2 diabetes. I was developing retinopathy. I was losing the sight in my left eye. And I had an eye surgery, and I don't remember what the full cost of it was, but it cost us $8,000 out of pocket.
Wow.
That was our deductible.
Could you have avoided that if you were eating better?
Absolutely. Absolutely. It was caused by type 2 diabetes. It was caused by years of having out of control diabetes.
Where are you now with your diabetes?
Oh, I have to tell you, my average morning blood sugars with a full complement of insulin and 3 different medications on board in my body used to average right above 200. That was a morning blood sugar, which should be under 100.
Wow.
That had been an improvement, though, with all that medication over what it used to be. I have not had a blood sugar over 100 now in 6 months. And I only take 1 pill a day. No more injections. I was taking 5 injections a day. And that doesn't even begin to talk about all the little finger pricks and how many years I had diabetes that insurance companies used to not cover any of your testing supplies, which are really expensive. At any rate, I consider myself cured.
Kimberly, did you lose a bunch of weight?
With your help, I have lost a total of 60 pounds in the last year.
Did you stop eating all the high glycemic foods? Were you complying with your
I stopped overeating. I had originally been a couple of years ago experimenting with the whole keto thing. The idea of cutting out those high glycemic foods definitely helped. But I could easily binge on keto food. So I was still eating too much. We all understand that type 2 diabetes is exacerbated, if not caused, by being overweight. So losing excess weight is the thing that has brought my body into an ability to process food, carbohydrates, or any food properly. And so therefore, the only support I need, after being diabetic for 35 years, I knew I could maybe push it into remission, but it wasn't going to go away. 1 pill a day. I take 1 pill in the morning. That's it. It's a very tiny little pill, and it's a fairly low dose. Yeah, it's amazing.
That's all with your doctor's permission and supervision, right?
Oh, of course. Oh, yeah, 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 yeah. No, I mean, absolutely. Yeah, no, that's from them testing me and saying, hey, your A1C is lower. This is happening. That's happening. The last trip I had to the doctor was 3 months ago. And she finally asked me what I've been doing. And she made all kinds of notes in my chart. And she said she would check it out, that she would go look at your website to see if it's something she can recommend to other patients. And I said, well, if you can't recommend it and you have somebody who's desperate, give them my phone number. I'd be happy to talk to them.
Did she?
Not yet that I know of. I certainly haven't received a phone call. And when I see her at my next visit, which I believe is in February or March, end of February, I'm going to ask her if she ever had a chance to look at the
She's
website.
probably looking for third-party medical studies and stuff, which we don't have yet.
And she also might be looking for things that are more traditional. I mean, she's the one who has sent me to the nutritionist that works at that clinic for years now. And I'll just say it without naming any names, obviously. That nutritionist is obese.
That's crazy.
Yep. But anyway, going back to the medical stuff, there is this old saying. I believe I read it. I mean, it's ancient. It's like carved in Egyptian hieroglyphs. And it's basically everything you eat, a third of it is for you and 2/3 of it is for your physician.
Oh, okay.
Isn't that good?
I never heard that. Okay.
Oh, I'll look for it and I'll send it to you on the forum. I'll
Okay.
find the actual quote.
Are you the
It's
person
brilliant.
who posted pictures of their blood sugar on the forum the other day?
There's a woman named Tina who did that, and I was the one who commented underneath with a big long diatribe about how incredibly awesome she is and how I've managed to do the same thing.
Got it.
Now, I'm the one who posted the picture of a very attractive Santa Claus back in Christmas.
I saw that too.
Yeah, that was me.
That's funny. Is there any other place that you're saving money or financially better off because of your new lifestyle?
Financially better off. Well, the medical bills are huge because we can only guess at what the future would have held
Right.
if I had continued to be overweight and overeating. That's absolutely huge. My quality of life is a million times better. The spending money trying to solve the problem, that's huge. The restaurant food and the buying poor quality, bingy foods at the grocery store, I mean, that's like where it dribbles out a little bit at a time forever and ever and ever. But the sinking big money into trying to cure the problem and then sinking big money into medical care, I can tell you that there's only one place where I feel like I might be spending more money. That is that I have gone from a size extra large 18-20 down to a size medium 8-10. I've needed to buy clothes.
That's a place where it feels good to spend money there, doesn't it?
Oh, it's wonderful. Oh, and it's so much more fun to wear clothes when you look in the mirror and feel like you look nice in them.
Yeah.
Instead of everything being a compromise, like, oh, well, I guess I fit into this, so this is what I'll wear. Now I get to choose clothes based on what I find is attractive and to my taste, which is really nice. And my husband likes that too, because I look nice.
I really appreciate this. Is there anything else I should have asked you? Anything else you said as someone who's financially hesitant to do the work?
The fact that you guys have a payment program is awesome. I was able to pay for the year up front because then you save a little bit of money. I just put it on a credit card. That was easier for me. The fact that you guys have a payment program where people can pay in increments is huge. The fact that you have a money back guarantee is just amazing. I don't know how you guys do it for the price. It is a very low price.
It's not easy, actually. It's not easy.
Compared to other programs. Yeah, I know. I can only imagine. I'm glad you like the ocean from what I've read, because that's free, being that you live near the beach. So, because I don't know how you guys are paying for your lives on that money. It's an incredibly modest amount of money for what you get.
I used to make a lot more doing corporate consulting, and even in my clinical
Right.
practice, I didn't help as many people, and it wasn't as meaningful and challenging and purposeful to me. And it's growing slowly, but surely it's growing. The point I want to make for people about the payment program is that if you think you can't find $100 a month, but within the first month, our typical client reduces their binge frequency by 90%, and our typical client is spending about $300 a month. I think it's 352. on binge food. And so you actually should be saving more money than you're spending. The program is actually something that should put money in your bag.
I would love to challenge everybody out there who listens to this that if you're not sure or you think these numbers sound inflated or, geez, how would anybody even afford that if they ate that much? If you overeat and you have a weight problem, that your body is too heavy as a result of that overeating, because, there's the proof that you're overeating, I would challenge you to go and look at credit card statements, bank statements, however you pay for the food that you eat, add it up. You'll be shocked.
Yep.
Absolutely shocked.
You can verify it on your credit card. You can definitely do that.
Yeah.
Thank you so much. And we'll talk to you soon.
Okay. Thank you so much, Glenn. Have a
Okay,
good day.
Bye-bye.